Hello, everybody. My name is Uncle Zan, and welcome back to Champions League Season 3, Week 3. We are here with Ufen doing a game for Hydra versus Twisted Insanity. Twisted Insanity?
Twisted Isolation.
Man, I really should have... Twisted Isolation. I knew it was an I word, and I dropped the ball big time, but Ufen, my buddy here, is... quite the fanatic over the names and the specifics of this league. Ufen, what do you see happening here on the pitch today? I mean, Twisted versus Hydra, both pretty big names here in the CL. Both of them have been very active here on the pitch. Who do you have going in this?
I mean, well, good question here. We can look at the teams first as our players slowly get ready for the matchup of the players tonight. Cami Utran, Vogue Tempo, and I do believe PC Scripts as the expected trio to field for Hydra, at least in the beginning. The last time we saw them, actually, Enigma was a good fill-in for them, and hopefully we don't see them experiment as much as they did, because it didn't really benefit them too much. But hey, anything can happen. And on the other side of Twisted Isolation, we have Duske, we have Kore, and we expect... who would that be? Oh, of those two remaining players, who would you see completing that starting three for Twisted?
Man, I'm actually not sure. It could be any one of those two. Yeah, I have no clue. Not gonna lie to you.
And I can actually give you the answer because we're seeing Owen in the lobby. So that answers the question quite easily.
I should look over at my screen maybe, and that'll give me an answer once in a while.
All good. Now, before we get into the action, we will quickly look over the week that has been and the week that will be. We have had some interesting matchups this week. The most surprising one to most of the rankings committee as well was the 1NE against Infinity Creative matchup, where people expected it to be a closer bout. Like, yes, the matches were close, yes, it was a small goal differential, but everyone expected it to be like a 3-2 series, not a 3-0 by either side. Then we had Metal Turtles, Laggy Sports, and Lotus versus Spacebound Cowboys. Any series that stands out to you personally, Zan?
Yeah, I mean, man, I watched a couple of them this week. And let me double check here if it's the one that I'm thinking it was, which I'm pretty sure it is. Of course, it gives me that there. Yes, it was the. I believe it was. Man, it's so hard to see on the screen there because it makes it so small when you're in an ad. But I hate that very much. Okay. Don't worry about me, guys.
We won't worry about because then for a bit.
I can't see the graphics.
Are you
Gosh darn it, Twitch ads.
Well, oh right, ads. Oh right, you're reminding me we're affiliates now.
We are affiliates now. It's we have to deal with that.
No, because I have to deal with one more thing, which is going to be, why has this not been cashed out yet? Doesn't matter. We have some predictions from last stream not yet cashed out, so we can get the new ones rolling.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Who will win the series tonight? Will it be Hydra? Will it be Twisted Isolation? The team I literally just announced this. You can, as you can see,
I will say,
will go
I think I could have seen that. I could have seen that LAG, the Lag Esports versus Metal Turtles matchup going either way. Both those teams, rated pretty highly here in the league, so it was interesting to see Metal Turtles pull out the win. I do think that's what most people had set up going, for predictions. But it was good seeing Lag kind of put up a fight there, keep it close throughout the series. Speaking of close series, we're going to hope that this one is very close. Twisted Isolation versus Hydra. Two teams that we've seen play many a times on this pitch, but I'm not sure what their record is against each other, honestly. I'd be curious to see if that was a stat that we had.
I mean, against each other, probably unlikely that they even have a game as I do not believe any of the preseason matchups pitted them against each other, nor do I believe any of
Okay.
them have actually even like off record scrimmed together. So this would be the first instance of these two teams meeting in a game in one lobby, and Owen unable to open the score there, Vogue Tempo denying. Nice save from him there. Cam Newton may be able to go up and doesn't get the edible bump demo play, but he does get the ball over Dusky.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate play there for Dusky. Dusky just kind of hitting the brakes a little bit too hard there. Not preserving his momentum going in the right direction, and unfortunately not able to get around that ball, instead putting it in the back of his own net, which is going to be a mistake that is easily punished here for this Hydra roster. We've seen them time and time again going after those punishments, but Corey coming out of nowhere early game and finding a little bit of an air dribble clip through a few defenders and finding the back of the net. One of those clips that you might see in one of his world famous montages, isn't that right?
Exactly. And speaking of montages, we had a ton of moments happen, especially one addition to the so-called Dairy Files in the series of 1NE against Infinity Creative, where was it, I believe, an own goal of Dairy's into his own net in that game, or some other misplay, I don't remember. But hey, players are slowly building up their portfolio of both highlights and lowlights in these series. Coming in turn, almost there with the shot. Tempo to follow Corey with that beautiful save up high. Dusky scripts, and this ball kind of meanders into the corner. Do you think, what aspect of the game do you think these teams should focus on, apart from defense, as we see Corey slotting in another one?
I mean, even though you could say work on defense, I will say that it's an absolute slot from Corey here, sending that one into the far corner where no defender is going to be able to reach that one. But, you know, I will say the accuracy is looking really good, so maybe defense is a great idea to sort of hone in on, maybe sending two people back on that back line so that even if one person misses, you have another person to send for it. But we will see what they kind of, how Hydra decides to come back on this one as PC Scripts takes the control here into the air. 50ing with Dusk. Woke with a shot opportunity now that's going to go off the sidewall there. Dusky sending it away. PC Scripts now just trying to keep it competitive. And Cammy Neutron, let's see what he can do. Gets the flip reset, sends it down to Dusky, and Dusky kind of keep this competitive. It's just sat right here in this midfield for a while now, Oof, and does look like both teams are kind of warming up, wouldn't you say? Oh, I say that, but that's an unfortunate own goal, it looks like. Maybe it wasn't, but Corey, absolute banger of a touch in the midfield. And yes, it is. It will be a Woke Tempo own goal, unfortunately.
Again, the best shots you get in match are typically on your own net. Here, the European representation in the name of Woke Tempo did not strike the correct note early on. And hopefully that isn't, let's say, the hours of the night slowly creeping up on our European friend here, but it is just, again, as you said, the first kind of warm-up game here between these two teams, as they again are stuck midfield. Ooh, came with a nice save up top above the crossbar. PC Scripts into the corner now. Corey challenging. Kami trying to wait. Tempo up for it, banging it back down into the corner. Over now. Challenge by Tempo. Dusky on the back foot now. PC Scripts up over him. Cam Newton will low boost a little away. Dusky fakes it and puts it down bottom right corner.
Yeah, one thing I will say is that it's not always indicative of you know, this first game is never really indicative in this regular season of which team is going to take the series as a whole. We have seen quite a few of our fair share of either reverse sweeps or game fives in some way, shape, or form. That the you know, the team who may have lost game one does keep it close and makes it a real difficult journey. Keeps it close throughout the series as Cammy Neutron tries to keep that one close, but Corey will steal it away. PC Scripts down into the middle of the field. Owen takes this one downfield. Cammy trying to see if he could take control, but Owen blocking it away to the backboard. Woke Tempo will find one to go, and PC Scripts now low on the wall, but Corey sending that to the back wall. Just kidding. Dusky down back to Corey, and Corey on low boost will find a way to finish that, growing their lead to 5-1.
Dusky taking that pass from Woke Tempo's playbook. Earlier we saw Woke Tempo accidentally redirect a ball back into his own net, and now Dusky is using that same move to serve up for Corey, who just has an easy tap in. This is going to be an interesting game. Hopefully we don't have to travel out somewhere Latin, especially amidst the climate currently. But I would not be opposed to a trip to Rio de Janeiro, but we are not seeing the Brazilian coast tonight, as scripts puts us closer to the big deficit Twisted Isolation has put up.
You know, I will say the 2 does remind me of something eerily similar from the early days of Rocket League. I don't know if a lot of people remember this one, but there used to be the scoreline 8-2, and that would be 8-2 BU. Man, I would hate to be you in that situation, but you know, it is the way that it goes sometimes. Sometimes you do score 2 goals to prevent the Brazil, and they get the 8th, and you just, man, you just sulk in that madness as 6 is coming up on the board. 2 more, and they might actually have that scoreline. We'll see if they can either use this to maintain the momentum and seal out the series, or in this game 1, you know, it's just the momentum seems to be such a big deal at the higher levels. I don't know if you've seen it here, Ufin. You know, in your number of games casting, do you find that like momentum in these games means a lot towards the series?
I wouldn't say these early games, as you've said as well before, don't really, like, you know, give you an idea of what the series will look like deeper. And in my experience, the teams have usually regrouped, recuperated after that first game, and it turned into a very tight series regardless of who had the upper hand in the first one. And to add on to your point about the 8-2 scoreline, we new gens, new people here call it the Barca. I do believe that has a ground in European football, where there was a scoreline, I do believe, against Barcelona, but Tempo now saying, I said Europe, and Tempo had to step up to the plate, getting a nice touch here, getting himself oriented off the wall there, and beating Owen with the ball into the net.
The European gotta represent, you know, that's all my EU fans out there, I love you guys, but man, I'm curious to see what Woke Tempo can really do to get back in here. PC Scripts also being one of the higher ranked players on this team. Both of them a little bit of a lackluster performance so far. I don't know maybe if it's the you know, the nerves, or if they're just not quite warm yet, but they are going to be down here about 6 or about what, 3 goals there, my bad. Make it 4. I really should just stop talking at this point.
Hey, once you start counting, they will be sure to add a number on top of that. At this point, I think we can slowly look into the stat sheet here. Maybe Hydra will put something to for Twisted Isolation to think about in the locker room, with one more goal there to just, you know, feel good about themselves. But now the ball is hitting the ground here. Twisted takes first game with a 4 goal difference between the scores, 7-3. Twisted. And looking at the score sheet itself, I must say Corey really did put his team on his back in this first one.
Well, it's interesting because I wouldn't have normally put Woke Tempo up at a higher sell on this team, but he was really playing like it in this game. So it'll be interesting to see what these other players can do on the side of Hydra here to kind of get back into it, turn it around for game 2, because it did look a little bit oppressive over on the side of Twisted, just kind of plastering shots at the backboard. A really unfortunate scenario, but if you can't relieve that pressure, you're going to somehow succumb to it at some point. So
Definitely. And I mean, hopefully these boys are experienced enough to not really handle the pressure poorly. I have seen Team Hydra prevail in lackluster situations before. I hope that for their sake, tonight is not any different. As PC Scripts takes the first touch, Dusky, midfield Owen, Corey ready for that one, sends it a little too far right. Owen, mid, sends it a little too far left this time, just shooting around the net, I suppose. I mean, if you are able to kind of like point out where the net isn't, you'll have an easier time shooting at where the net is. So I'm now seeing the strategy of Twisted Isolation here.
Yeah, it does seem as though the Twisted Isolation team just says, let's throw the ball towards the net and somehow it'll make it in there. And it has so far kind of worked out for them. Corey just kind of sticking around in the right position and somehow finding a little bit of a sneaky shot, getting it through some defenders there. He has shown a little bit of mechanical ability, shown that he can be a little bit mechy today with that nice little air dribble through, three defenders there, getting it right buried into the back of the net. Dusky looks for a shot himself, but it's going to be blocked away by the two Hydra defenders. Now Corey to the backboard. Woke tempo with the pass out, but Dusky sending it to the backboard, getting the double. Saved away by two more Hydra members. They are having to commit two for every one ball. That is that defense that I was talking about, but Corey still able to find the back of the net. And that's going to be first blood here for Twisted Isolation.
Yeah, here that's just an unfortunate jump for Tempo there. Kind of feeling like he didn't, like Corey didn't have the space to shoot behind him, and he kind of just stayed there last like a beached whale. Well, we'll see what Twisted Isolation bring here. The double taps plenty from both teams is what we're seeing right now. They're trying to get their mechie side out on the stream. Over now going up, Camutron, Dusky in net, Corey challenging, ball up high, someone able to collect, no tempo flying fast, Scripts there to Chow, but no, takes the steady approach here, going back into the corner, Dusky Scripts, alt mid, Owen unable to redirect front, Corey now, taking it left, PC Scripts middle, tempo just clears that one out, and a small unfortunate team bump there, midfield, stripping possession of Twisted Isolation for the time being. Corey into the corner. Then, I think these teams do need a little more composure here when it comes to ball control. They both have kind of had just big, reckless clears. What do you think here?
Well, I mean, it's reckless only in the sense that I feel like Hydra is really struggling to get the clears out of their own end, and then Twisted Isolation, when they have the chance to sort of respond, they instead throw it right back downfield and keep it in that area, which is great because they are ahead. But it would be even better if they could grow that goal margin like they were in the first game. But does seem like they might be a little bit shut down when it comes to actually getting things into the net. So maybe opting towards playing keep the ball away. Now Dusky on 0 boost, forced to play that long. Corey now following up after him. Cammy Neutron with an unfortunate touch, but saved away by Woke Tempo. PC Scripts now downfield. Will be an unfortunate touch and forcing Corey to clear. Just kidding. That's going to be Dusk trying to clear, but Cammy pings one off the inside of the post there. An unfortunate shot. That one probably should have been in there, Oofin.
Oh, that one will sting. That's kind of a me shot, I have been on the pitch numerous times at this point, and every shot that has went every shot that went just even slightly off kilter has been dubbed the Oofing shot. Now, what a save from Corey, that redirecting scripted shot. The defense is immaculate in this game so far.
It really is. I'm seeing that both these teams just kind of come out at a different caliber here, not willing to let any more goals in after that very high goal scoring game in the first one. Cammy Neutron now sending that one down, looking for to start play together. PC Scripts now securing a demo in the corner, but won't really lead to much. Cammy Neutron to the backboard. Corey playing that back center, but PC Scripts will be there to collect. Now trying to get the control play, but Woke Tempo saving him away with a bang downfield. That looks like a bit of a dream play until Owen got in the way of it there, Oofin.
That was I don't even know if that was on purpose or accidental from Owen. I didn't have the best
100% accidental. There's no way.
But the denial on Camutron's approach that was just brilliant. Let's say Owen meant to do that, and let's say that was part of the Twisted Isolation playbook up until this point, until it has been revealed.
Yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah,
exactly. Camutron with a send up high, Tempo may be able to collect the double touch. No, Camutron not trusting him, but he still gets it in. We're tied with 20 seconds to go in game 2.
They do manage to tie it up here, and that's what I was saying about trying to grow that score margin, because now at 20 seconds they are all tied up and it's any man's game. We'll see here how this kind of plays out for Hydra. If they can manage to sink one in the net, before that overtime managed to sink its fangs into them. But Cammy Neutron sending one down the field. Corey saving it away in the midfield. Dusky, 8 seconds. Just kidding. Corey sending that one to Woke Tempo. Woke Tempo back down the field. Will there be a play here off the back wall? No. Owen keeping it alive as Cammy Neutron full boost and a dream. Saved away by Dusky. That will touch the ground. We will be in OT for game 2.
Hopefully this overtime stanza brings us some content to look forward to here. Tempo getting demoed in the offensive corner here for Hydra. Dusky with possession over Cam Neutron. Tempo luckily now back thanks to the demo. Corey Scripps able to clear into Cammy, unable to get a send further. Owen beating Tempo to the ball, good patience from him. Dusky getting challenged by Tempo. Scripps with a little control touch here. Corey getting it down into the corner. Cammy now back into the corner. Dusky up again. Tempo maybe able to clear, maybe able to get in just to Owen. Ooh, Owen misses his flip there on the wall. Not able to touch. Corey out into the midfield now. Dusky just sends it up high into the ceiling. Another shot, maybe. Cammy, Scripps. The Hydra team kind of trying to stay away from double commit as Tempo completely whiffs on the ball there. Cammy Neutron sending it out mid, and we might have a bit of peace here as Dusky takes an awkward touch. I love how offensive this overtime has become from the defensive quote-unquote snooze fest of the regular standard allotted time.
Yeah, well, I will say that it was very defensive. It was very, turtle as opposed to hare, if you wanted the analogy side of things. But even then, it was still a defensive masterclass from both teams, sitting on that back wall and not overcommitting too much. As I say that, Dusky trying to commit a little too hard and doesn't quite get it into the net there. Saved away on the goal line. Thought that was going to be the end of overtime there, but PC Scripts now sending this one back to the midfield. Corey off his touch, and Dusky with a beautiful dunk. Will he be able to get to it before it is over? It is not. Nope. That was an unfortunate one, but he was not going to be able to get there for that touch. Woke Tempo now to the back wall. Cammy trying to put something together, but it does backfire a little bit. PC Scripts is able to get back for it. Unfortunate miss on the wall there. Now Cammy's forced to save him away. Corey touching that one to the corner there. Dusky with the shot, and he finds a spot right behind all the defenders. A beautiful shot out of Dusky, and he secures the second goal here in overtime and snags the game for his team.
Again, we saw an unfortunate lapse in defensive judgment there from the Hydra team. They unfortunately double commit again on a play. I think it was PC Scripts and Tempo there just kind of lollygagging in the corner instead of getting proper spacing and getting the ball at a proper time. Looking at the stat sheet, this game, we have less score to tally, we have less goals to tally, but everyone is kind of even on the score sheet itself. This was a great game to watch, especially again from the defensive standpoint of things.
Well, it's even indicative. I mean, the only goal coming out of this Hydra squad coming from the one of the lower salaried players, I believe, in Cammy Neutron, as somebody might be able to correct me if I'm wrong there. But maybe that's indicative of the fact that this Hydra squad, turned around and started getting their players more incorporated. It does look like maybe we're getting the black screen of doom, unfortunately, on this one.
It does appear so. We'll be rehosting very shortly, everyone.
But as I was saying, it might be indicative of the Hydra squad getting their other players involved a little bit more and allowing Cammy to sort of rotate in a little bit more, which it did feel, in all fairness, like it was kind of striving. They were striving to kind of rotate a little bit better, even though they were lollygagging in the corner a little bit on that last play. That wasn't a mistake that I saw them make a lot this last match. And so if they really want a chance of winning this, I think they'll probably have to do a lot more of that.
hmm Exactly, and we're getting our players back into the lobby here. The rehost successfully finding a few players from Hydra and a few players from Twisted Isolation. We're waiting for, who is it? We're waiting for
Me.
you, actually, Zan. It's going to
Yeah.
be
Well, it
the
was
same information which
Oh,
I
gotcha.
cannot leak on stream.
No, you're good.
Okay, perfect. Our players will
It
be
should be good.
slowly getting situated. All good.
We should be good. Sweet.
Okay, yep, we're all good now. Proper.
Love the technical difficulties from
It
yours
wouldn't
truly, our favorite psionics.
be a Champions League main broadcast if it didn't have at least a bit of scuff on the day, as is
Oh, it
tradition
wouldn't
at
be
this point.
Rocket League without server problems, you know?
Exactly, it wouldn't be
I
Rocket League
always
without their
say it.
issues. Exactly. Now as
It
you
would
get
be
back,
Rocket League 2, which is never happening.
that's last hope, and we have got it here. Ooh, Tempo Owen sacrificing himself, body blocking Tempo's valiant effort to defend the send from Owen, but oh, sorry, my apologies from Dusky, but Owen sending himself into Tempo.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate one. I don't even know how you combat that. I mean, you gotta dodge the demo, but there's not much dodging that kind of demo there. But Cammy getting caught up a little bit on the wall. He will get aggressive there, blocking Dusky out of the touch, which is beautifully done for him. And a beautiful 50 by PC
Ooh.
Scripts. Bullies it through two people here on an air dribble, and then just lets it sit there for Cammy to secure it. It was Cammy puts it in the back of the net. Beautifully done.
Exactly, beautiful, and I love seeing the offensive portion of this team come out screaming out the gates. Hydra really needs it here. They're down 2 on the series. They had a nice hope here with Cammy scoring another one, bringing them up 2-1 in the game. Again, as I was saying, they had a nice little hope back in game 2, getting into that overtime stanza, but they could not capitalize on it in 2 minutes and 11 seconds of playtime. Now they're just out the gate, off the bat, just scoring one after the other.
Not gonna lie to you, and I may have been wrong in that last game analysis, post game analysis there. I think maybe it's just Cammy just getting in and locked in here. He might be just going crazy here and clipping on everybody. So we look for another one there. The 50 was a well done. It does stay in the side of Twisted Isolations, but they just aren't really converting here. Just kidding. They are back down on the Twisted Isolation side of the field, which is perfect. It's exactly what they need to be doing to kind of keep the score margin wider. We saw the issue that Hydra or that Twisted Isolation ran into last time was that they tried to keep the goal margin the same. PC Scripts got the hint and decided to widen that one, that there's no chance of them even catching up in this game.
Oh, and apart from what's happening here on the page from PC Scripts and the lads of Hydra, I'm seeing some interesting news here from Funky himself, saying that the team apparently got an earful. I'm expecting prior to this match, or prior to this series, maybe even. I'm all for it here. Hey, whatever motivates your team and whatever motivates Scotty. Maybe he even was in on the earful as well with the Hydra team.
Corey just needs more shots for his montage. That's the only reason he's here. He just needs more. He's just clip farming, guys. Don't you worry. He does secure another one for himself. There's pads the stats just a little bit more, and they do mount a little bit of a comeback towards this 3-1 lead that seemed pretty demanding from Hydra, but disappeared rather quickly. Now it is a 1-goal lead. As Corey tries to make the challenge there against Cammy Neutron. Now all 3 of them are trying to move up the field, but Woke Tempo gets the sneaky 50 and just kind of, throws it downfield into the net. So everyone's all the way on the way up. They were mounting a counterattack, and he snuck that one behind everybody. Beautifully done from him.
Exactly. Again, Tempo just stepping up here late at night, trying to get the reps in for his offensive abilities. Cameo clearing up into the wall. Corey. Tempo may be able to collect himself and doesn't need to. Corey just sending himself into the net instead of the ball. Cameo now with time. That's the one thing you do not want to afford him. Dusky able to challenge him there. Corey with the send. Tempo awkward, but it goes left. Ball's just flying up there. Tempo with full boost, luckily able to get there. Scripts, Owen now. Camutron left awkward here. Maybe able to get a challenge off. No. Owen again sacrificing himself here for his team's benefit. Being that kind of martyr, Twisted Isolation low-key needs at this point. Camutron now. Owen again. Got it up floating with it like a butterfly. Stinging like a bee. A few words from Muhammad Ali as we transfer pressure back into the midfield. Cami now. Maybe get the double tap. No, Owen able to sacrifice. Ooh, and Mr. Krausbad did nice PC scripts here on this one. I'm liking what I'm seeing here from all members of Team Hydra. Even Tempo, even PC scripts stepping up to the plate. Maybe apart from that play there.
And no, they're still trying. They're definitely putting their best foot forward and challenging the things they need to. I will maybe question exactly how they're hitting the ball, but you know, either way, it is being hit and it is going in a certain direction. So as long as you can kind of channel which ways that's not going, you can kind of accurately throw a ball in a direction. But we will see as they maintain this 2-goal lead here. Hydra with the battle of their lifetime, trying to keep this Twisted Isolation roster at bay. Corey now crosses his own net. Full boost, but he will be saved away by PC Scripts. Dusky now over his own net. A little bit of a risky play, but he does opt to take it. Owen now in the corner. Not much more than 12 boost and a dream. He will be rotating out and around. Corey looking for the shot. Woke Tempo to save it away on the goal line. Now Owen. Not getting much other than a very useless slip reset there, but Dusky back to save it away. This Twisted Isolation team needing to step it up if they want to close out this game. But they are closing in on 30 seconds here, Ufin, and I don't see a way in which they kind of get back into it here. They've had shining moments here with Corey, but they haven't been able to look consistently as good as I'd like them to be.
I mean, hey, the shining moments are maybe just a moment to lapse here. Hydra really stepped up their game. I wouldn't fault Twisted Isolation at all here. Not their synergy, not how they work together, not individual player performances. Hydra just got, you know, that little boost in between games in the locker room. Had some Red Bull sprayed down their throats, and they're just, you know, going out there. Maybe, and I don't want to cast a curse them, maybe a reverse sweep in the works here as we go look at the stat sheet yet again. Now, as I said in the first game, Corey putting his team on his back. Cami Neutron now with almost the same score, 714 as opposed to, I believe, what was it, 740 on Corey's end. Yeah, I'm just liking the performance out of the Hydra bunch right now.
Yeah, Cammy's stepping it up. I mean, that 700 points kind of speaks towards it, and the 2 goals and 5 shots, not letting them sit on their laurels and you know, play that keep away game that Twisted likes to play so much, get ahead and keep it away from them. But we will see if they can kind of maybe mount a reverse sweep. That is going to be a little bit easier said than done. It's rare that we actually do see the full reverse sweep. Sometimes we see them start to mount it, but I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but we might actually have a good chance of seeing one here.
Well, I mean, this series...
If ever there was a time.
Exactly. I was about to say this series is the one where I would see a reverse sweep happening, especially since Hydra is the team that is down on the series. If it was Twisted Isolation, I would be a little doubtful. You know, speaking from experience as a member of the rankings committee and seeing the power rankings happen, Hydra being a consistent top 6 pick across multiple people's ranking boards, and Twisted Isolation kind of falling down.
Where are they each rated right now? Do you know?
Let me look at the official power rankings for week 3. They would be, Twisted Isolation is ranked 17th, not moving up or down a spot from last week's power rankings, and Hydra is 5th currently.
Yeah, if there was ever a team to do it, that might be the team, but I will say this Twisted Isolation roster has looked very chemically bonded. Fancy way of saying the chemistry is off the charts. Owen takes this one down the field. We'll see if they can keep their underdog story going. It is 0-0 going in the first minute, Ufin here. I mean, that was kind of the story we saw from the last game, and then from there, it just kind of all unfolded. It is looking like it's staying a little closer here going into the first minute and 30 seconds. This might be a lot closer game than maybe our first couple.
I mean, hey, you see it be close in the first minute, and 20 seconds, as we're seeing it right now. But with plays like this one from Dusky, it's just a matter of time until the scoring bag rips open and we get an absolute bar burner in the matter of seconds. Rocket League is a very, very sporadic game when it comes to what happens, how people score, how people act 1 second and then the other. This game could still be a very non-close affair, but putting his team up 1 at the 1 minute and 48-second mark here with actually a reverse Arab dribble bump as he gets bumped off the ball, not he bumping off someone else.
That was really, yeah, I don't think I usually ever see the reverse air dribble bump there where the, you know, the person going for the bump gets bumped. But it does end up working out for him. He just kind of gets in the way of PC Scripts there, and he's not able to make the save, and neither of those other teammates are able to react in time. Dusky now forced to react in time, saving that one on the goal line. But Woke Tempo, I've seen a little bit coming out from him, and I do need to see more, but he does get a beautiful assist here to Cammy, and Cammy secures one, tying it up. This is exactly what we need to see from them as they mount this comeback story.
Exactly.
Wow,
what we need to see from this bunch. Go ahead, Nizam.
No, I'm just impressed because as I was saying, Woke Tempo, I'd love to see more from you. He kind of shows us what he can do. Throws that one center into a beautiful infield pass, and Cammy Neutron, our probably MVP of the match here, finds the confirmation. As I say that, Dusky gets a little jealous that I'm already putting someone up for MVP of the series conversation and decides to secure one for himself. So maybe a little jealous of the attention.
Maybe he has an ear on the broadcast here and he hears us a few seconds back and he is able to put some criticism back. And Corey shutting us up yet again with another goal here, not even breaking the half point mark for this game 4 here, and we already have that. Again, as I said, the scoring bag will rip open at some point, and this game will stop being close-knit affair at a moment's notice.
I mean, it's kind of turned into a slugging match now. As soon as Hydra found their first hit, they didn't hit as hard as they maybe should have, and now Twisted Isolation were able to get back up and slug a little bit harder as they are angry from that first little punch that was thrown towards their net. As the 2-minute mark will roll around here, we'll see if Hydra can slug back at this Titan so far in the match. Cammy Neutron on the back wall. He's got control. Taking it out over Owen. He does beat one, and he is looking for a demo, but doesn't secure Dusky. Woke Tempo now with the 50 out to PC Scripts. Owen forced to save it away on his own back wall, but now he's low boost, forced to play for the 50. Cammy now getting it around one and out to the center. Corey forced to make the save on the goal line. Woke Tempo now up the wall, looking for a pass play opportunity, but it will go to the back wall. Corey, again, saving it away on the goal line. Dusky now with a counter-attack opportunity. Nobody's home, and that will be another one. Might be the nail in the coffin here. When nobody knows, we still have 1 minute and 30 seconds, but I'm feeling pretty confident that this Twisted Isolation team might hold this.
I mean, hey, we've seen Hydra put up a score like this in the previous game, actually, and they, the Twisted Isolation kept kind of creeping back and back into the play here. We might see the same thing happen with beautiful save from, didn't even count as a save for PC Scripts here, but beautiful denial of that shot from Corey. Again, as I was saying, we might see a Hydra now be the team who slowly, gently creeps back up the score sheet and gets themselves secure, but as I say that, as I try to give them a little bit of hope, Corey just shuts it all down. Tempo unable to get that one out of his own net.
I don't know, Finn. We were talking about earlier that they were just kind of logging, that Hydra was lollygagging around in those corners, and that last goal that really sold it for me was, unfortunately one of them was going out to get boost and didn't even realize that there was a shot coming on net. didn't even turn for it. So that might be one of those situational awareness things that they'll have to work on here coming weeks, as it kind of sold them down the river here. So Owen mounts another counterattack here, gets it past one and over another. A beautiful dribble play coming out from Owen. He controls it wonderfully down the field. Fakes PC scripts one and over Cammy Neutron for two. And he
That,
takes it home there.
that is a beautiful goal from Owen. The low sal on Team Twisted Isolation, I believe, as low as, now give me just 2 seconds, as low as 178. So not like completely down in
My
the gutter,
lord.
but he is
Yeah.
indeed the, let's say, the odd one out when it comes to the roster. Being a diamond ranked player, I believe. But hey, putting on a clinic here now, as they are approaching that Latin, that exotic scoreline yet again. Maybe we'll be getting our passports out here soon, as they are mounting the pressure yet again. Dusky with nothing to lose, just putting himself out there. Corey, just, you know, kind of conflicting there, I think, where Corey and Dusky and getting in each other's way. Now PC Scripts awkward with 0 boost, and we are actually heading to Brazil.
Dude, I love that joke so much. It's just it's really fed itself here in the Rocket League community so well over the years, and it's never gotten old. It's never gotten old, man. As we break it here, there will be a second goal going in for Woke Tempo.
Now,
Finds himself one here on the way out.
will we go from Latin to Hispanic? Will we go from South America to continental Europe? And will we see a Barca happen here as well? The scoreline is set for it. We just need one more goal from this Twisted Isolation group to get both of the Hispanic scores. Ooh, Cam Newton denying them, setting the ball down. Series ending 3-1 in favor of Twisted Isolation. Beautiful ball from everyone involved. And let's check the score the stat sheet one final time. And again, even with it being such a high scoring affair, the top two scorers are quite even on scorage, only being separated by 7 points, where Dusky and Corey here on this last one. 7 kind of, you know, at this point, most likely a what you call a destiny number for them, as they do get the Brazil in the final match.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate scoreline for them, but they did manage to sort of mount a little bit of a comeback. They did have good looks here and there throughout the broadcast. Unfortunately, it does look like their situational awareness on maybe the game side of things is just a little, the game sense is a little maybe to be desired or to be worked on in the future coming weeks. So that's definitely one thing I've noticed. I do believe we'll have some winners interviews going on here in just a minute. If we want the folks to hop in
Yeah,
here in the
I'm
interview waiting
currently
room.
trying to get players in. They're asking if we want all of them now. I do like, you know, a packed interview room, but the entire locker room of with the isolation would kind of cram it in here. We most likely will be getting at least Ore, as I'm seeing here. He'll be up here in the waiting room soon, and we will open the door for him to come inside the actual
Oh
booth
man,
now.
I would love to hear from Corey. He had an absolute lights out match here tonight. Yeah, coming out on the pitch and immediately scoring. What was that? I believe three of the goals in the first match.
Yeah, I do believe
I
it
I
was
blah it
3
was
years.
roughly right around there.
Yes, yes.
Ah,
Now,
beautiful. We'll go
we
ahead and
do
get them
have the
pulled in
players,
here, though.
yes. And
No, no.
welcome, people.
Hello.
The entry sounds quite, you know, loud on
My
tonight. I wasn't
God, my
expecting them.
ears.
Welcome,
I'm
everyone.
sorry.
Just a
I was
general.
trying to change the interview, bro.
Oh, good now. Just a general, like, into the field question, boys. How do you feel now, coming off a win, even though your power rankings were less favoring you in this one?
I mean, we knew we were good enough to beat anybody. I mean, it really just came down to the core fundamentals of if you rotate right, if you make good touches, then you could beat anybody, and that's kind of what happened tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, specifically you, Corey, you kind of came out here and had a bit of a lights out match yourself in that first match. You know, scoring some nice touches, supporting your team on a lot of balls there. What was your kind of mentality like coming out here tonight? What were you thinking specifically? You know, going into this match?
It was really just pressure. Because I figured they would bring a lot more pressure than us, and I just told them we're going to top them with everything: pressure, hits, quality of touches. Which sometimes, we got a little rattled as you saw in that loss, but we overcame it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Beautiful. Now, an aimed question. Dusky, how do you
Yes,
feel
sir.
about your performance tonight? Do you feel positive? I saw you just popping off tonight, getting a few goals and getting a few nice plays in there.
With Corey, since Corey had a pop off performance, I kind of made myself play mid man, kind of like make a playmaker. I wanted Corey to get his shots. Corey was hitting shots. Our new addition to our team, Owen. Owen was there when he needed to be. I think we overall played well. I was just trying to do what the team needed to do to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Splendid.
100%. No, I'm just curious a little bit, you know, looking ahead at some of the matches that you might have going on in the future, you know, any teams that you might not have played up against yet. Any teams that you're excited about? Any teams that you haven't, you know, have no clue how they're going to pan out, or maybe something that you're you know, training for?
Me personally, the team I'm looking forward to play is Team Bloom.
Yeah, I'm probably going to agree on that one.
That is interesting.
That's
Yeah. Team Bloom being a very vocal team. Sorry for stopping in there, Zan. But yeah, Team Bloom
No,
being a
you're
very
good.
vocal
You're
team.
good.
I sure hope you guys have a wonderful series once that happens.
Yeah, we hope so too. I mean, we're going to try to show up like we did tonight. And, again, I just want to talk about I hadn't just lost my Hydra. Hydra's the team. My bad. I just wanted to thank those guys. They showed up and they played a really good match and it was fun. I'm back in this league. I took a season off and meeting all the new people that are in here. It's just really nice to see the community the way it is now.
No, I think this community is way better than I could ever have hoped to, you know, be a part of as well. So I totally get you there. They are wonderful and very supportive, even though they might, you know, chirp a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Everyone likes chirping. Everyone likes to chirp. No, we do thank you guys for stopping in, though. Corey, Dusky, and Owen, thank you guys for playing a very lights out match for us tonight here on Champions League. We always appreciate you guys and your high quality gameplays.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
No worries.
Thank you.
You too.
Yeah, boys. Now, as the players vacate now, due to the upcoming series, if we go look at the matchups to be, the upcoming series that will be broadcasted live, or should be at least, barring any extra issues with scheduling, will be the one with, what was it, Duality and Team Bloom. After that, we have Most Hated and Phoenix finishing up our triple header of tonight. Between then, that will be it from me and Zain. We will be seeing you in the very next matchup in just a couple minutes. But we will be ending for now to, get everything set up to give you boys and gals in chat the best possible experience you can have here. That's going to be it from us for now, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes.